A fraction is part of a whole. A fraction is a part of a whole. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A fraction is a part of a whole, yeah. A fraction is part of a whole.
You have one.
Hi kids, Mrs. G here, and today we're going to watch a video all about fractions. Fractions? What are fractions? I mean, you deal with them all the time, but in school when we have to write them, they can get a little confusing. Let's look over here. Fractions. I don't know what you think about, but you can see a number and a line and another number. We see a lot of charts a lot of times with some pieces filled in. 7 over 9. What does that mean? Like you, I'm used to counting. 1, 2, 3, and my numbers go this way. Sometimes if we're adding or subtracting, we might even put our numbers on top of each other like this with the line. But what does this mean? Well, this actually represents a piece of a whole that we're going to talk about today in our introduction video to fractions. The first thing that we need to know about fractions is that fractions are a part of a whole where the whole is broken up into equal parts. Let's pretend that I have a big chocolate chip cookie. You know, one of those really big ones that you get from the mall that are bigger than my head. I can almost smell it now. Then my sister comes over to visit. She sees my giant cookie and smells its sweet aroma, and I can tell she's thinking, yum. So the only polite thing to do would be to share my cookie. I mean, she is my sister after all. So I cut my giant cookie into 2 pieces, and I keep 1 piece for myself, and I give 1 piece to my sister. But my sister was all like, what? Not cool. At first I didn't understand why she wasn't excited about eating my cookie. Then I realized she didn't think my pieces were very fair. My piece was much bigger than hers. I did cut my cookie into 2 pieces, but my pieces were not equal-sized pieces. So let's rewind and try this again. Here's my giant cookie, and this time I want to split my cookie into 2 equal-sized pieces, so my sister and I both get the same amount. I keep 1 piece of the cookie for myself again, and I give 1 piece of cookie to my sister. This time she was happy because both of our pieces were equal. Now that we know fractions are a part of a whole where the whole is broken up into equal parts, let's look at how we would write this cookie crumble as a fraction using numbers. When we split or divided our cookie, we had 1 equal part here and 1 equal part here. We split our whole cookie into 2 equal parts. Remember, we need both of these 2 equal parts to make up 1 whole cookie. We want to remember that we split our whole cookie into those 2 equal parts. So we will record that number 2 here in our fraction below the line. This number on the bottom is called the denominator. Now we are going to write a fraction for just the piece of cookie I had. Pretend we already gave my sister her piece, and it's long gone, probably being digested by now. So this is all we have left of our once whole cookie. How many pieces do we still have? We have 1 piece of cookie. We will write a number 1 on top of the line in our fraction. This top number that shows how many pieces of the whole we have is called the numerator. Whoa, that was a lot of information. Numerators, denominators, this piece, that piece. Let's go over that one more time. Let's take a look at that cookie fraction one more time. We had 1/2 of a cookie. That fraction looks like a 1 over a 2. We know that the 2, that bottom number, is going to show us how many pieces we had that made up our whole cookie. This number on top, the 1, shows us how many pieces of the whole cookie that we actually have. Alright students, that's the end of our short video on fractions. Now it's time for you to ask questions, for us to dig deeper into those ideas, and for us to make a lot more examples for us to figure out on our own.
A fraction is part of a whole. A fraction is a part of a whole. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A fraction is